Hey everybody, my name is Justin Momo. I am a professional pharmacist and founder of Pharma Friend Justin. My motive is to make people more informative and spread awareness about
Viral vector type COVID-19 vaccine. What are the COVID-19 vaccine types? There are four categories of vaccine in clinical trials. The four main types of COVID-19 vaccines are whole virus, viral vector, protein subunit, and nucleic acid RNA and DNA. Some of them try to smuggle the antigen into the body, others use the body's own cell to make the viral antigen. Viral vector type COVID-19 vaccines. Viral vector vaccine also work by giving cell genetic instruction to produce antigen, but they differ from the nucleic acid vaccines in that they use a harmless virus, different from the one the vaccine is targeting to deliver these instructions into the cells. One of the viruses that has been often been used as a vector is adenovirus, which is caused the common cold. As with nucleic acid vaccines, our own cellular machinery is hijacked to produce the antigen from those instructions in order to trigger an immune response. Viral vector vaccines can be mimic natural viral infection and should therefore trigger a strong immune response. However, since there is a chance that many people may have been already exposed to the virus being used as vector, some may be immune to it, making the vaccine less effective. What are the viral vector based vaccine and how would they be used against COVID-19? All vaccines work by exposing the body to molecules from the target pathogen to trigger an immune response, but the method of exposure varies. Here how viral vector based vaccines work. Viral vector based vaccines differ from the most conventional vaccines in that they don't actually contain antigen, but rather use the body's own cell to produce them. They do this by using a modified virus, the vector, to deliver a genetic code for antigen. In the case of COVID-19 spike protein found on the surface of the virus into human cells, by infecting the cell and instructing them to make large amount of antigen which then trigger an immune response. The vaccine mimics what happened during the natural infection with certain pathogens, especially virus. This has the advantage of triggering a strong cellular immune response by T cells as well as the production of antibodies by B cells. An example of a viral vector vaccine is the RVSV ZEBOV vaccine against Ebola. How do such vaccines trigger immunity? Viruses survive and replicate by dividing their host cells and hijacking the protein making machinery, so it reads the virus genetic code and makes a new viruses. These virus particles contain antigens, molecules that can trigger an immune response. A similar principle underpins a viral vector vaccines. Only in this case, the host cell only receives code to make an antigen. The viral vector acts as a delivery system, providing a means to invade the cells and insert the code for a different virus antigen, the pathogen you are trying to vaccinate against. the virus itself is harmless, and by getting the cells only to produce antigen, the body can mount an immune response safely without developing disease. Various vaccines have been developed as a vectors, including adenovirus, a cause of the common cold, measles virus, and vaccinia virus. These vectors are stripped of any disease-causing genes and sometimes also genes that can enable them to replicate, meaning they are now harmless. The genetic instruction for the making the antigen from the targeted pathogen are stitched into the virus vector's genome. Advantages and disadvantages of viral vector-based vaccines. Well-established technology, strong immune response. Immune response involves B cell and T cells. Previously exposure to the vector would reduce the effectiveness. Relatively complex to manufacture. How do such vaccines trigger immunity? There are two main types of viral vector-based vaccines. Non-replicating vector vaccines are unable to make new viral particles. They only produce the vaccine's antigen. Replicating vector vaccines also produce a new viral particle in the cells they infect, which then go to infect new cells that will also make the vaccine antigen. The COVID-19 viral vector vaccines under development use non-replicating viral vectors. Once injected into the body, these vaccines virus can infect our cells and insert the genetic material, including the antigen gene, into the cell's nuclei. Human cells manufacture the antigen as if it were on their own protein, and this is presented on the surface alongside many other proteins. When the immune cells detect the foreign agent antigen, they mount an immune response against it. This response includes antibodies producing B cell as well as T cell, which seek out and destroy infected cells. T cells do this by examining the repertoires of the proteins expressed on the surface of the cell. They have been trained to recognize the body's own protein as self. So if they notice a foreign protein such as antigen from the pathogen, they will mount an immune response against the cells carrying it. One challenge of the approach is that people may previously have been exposed to the virus vector and raise an immune response against it, reducing the effectiveness of vaccine. Such as anti-vector immunity also make delivering a second dose of the vaccines challenging, assuming this is needed unless the second dose is delivering using the different virus vector. How easy are they to manufacture? A major bottleneck for viral vector vaccine production is capability. The traditionally viral vector grown in cells that are attached to a substrate rather than a free-floating cells, but this is difficult to do on a large scale. Suspension cells like are now being developed, which would enable viral vectors to be grown in large bioreactor. Assembling the vector vaccine is also a complex process involving multiple steps and components, each of which increase the risk of contamination. Extensive test is therefore required after every step, increasing cost.
That's all from me now, guys. I hope from this video you'd gain more knowledge, and if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and please put a comment below this video what other video you'd like me to cover, so that I know what you're looking for. And please do share and subscribe to my channel for my friend Justin.